I can assure you of that.
It was absolutely not. Wind chill.
Wind just whipping off the river.
Yep. I mean, I had a full down park on, so that was cool. All right, the 59th Super Bowl is less than 2 weeks away. It'll be a little warmer there in New Orleans. When Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs take on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, history is on the line for KC as the two teams meet for the second time in 3 years in the biggest of games. The Chiefs are on a 9-game postseason win streak, one shy of the NFL record set by Tom Brady and the Patriots from 2001 to 2005. KC could become the second team to ever win 3 straight championships in the NFL, joining the Packers, who have done it twice. And Mahomes could be the first player in NFL history to win at least 4 titles and 2 MVPs in his first 8 seasons. Okay, Mad Dog, coming to you on this one since you're the resident historian. Will a three-peat make Kansas City the greatest dynasty ever?
I don't think so myself. And I don't love the game because we've seen this game 2 years ago. If you look at the divisional round with Buffalo and Lamar and Jayden Daniels and Detroit, this is the worst matchup you could have gotten. The sports fan, again, we saw it 2 years ago. I'm chiefed out, and I can't embrace the Eagles. But the original thought is when you look at these other title teams, these dynasty teams, Green Bay, any team that you want, the Patriots, they're not about just the one player. This Chief team is about the quarterback. I mean, Pittsburgh had 9 Hall of Famers on it. They won with defense and they won with offense. Green Bay had 9, 10 Hall of Famers on it. This Chief team's got Kelsey's a Hall of Famer, Jones is probably a Hall of Famer, and Mahomes is a Hall of Famer. This is about the quarterback who, as I've told you, Molly, Jeff, Kimberly, forever, I think is the greatest quarterback of all time, and it's so much about him more so than about the team. So from that standpoint, I don't look at this as the greatest dynasty in the history of pro football. When you think of the Pittsburgh Steelers, yeah, you think of Bradshaw, but you think of Franco, you think of that offensive line, you think of Lambert, you think of Major Green, you think of Mel Blount. When you think of the Packers, you think of Nitsky and Herb Adderley and Willie Davis and Starr and Jim Taylor and Lombardi and Horning. You think of a group of people. Here, when you think of the Chiefs, you think of Mahomes and maybe a little Kelsey. That's why I don't put it on that level.
Okay, so Mad Dog essentially, ladies and gentlemen, is saying this is not the greatest dynasty ever because he's just tired of this matchup.
Yes.
He doesn't want to see it.
Yes.
He can't get, he's sick of the Eagles.
Were you alive when the Steelers were winning it and when the Green Bay Packers were winning it? You were alive?
Yes. Yes,
so
I was.
Did you hate,
Did
you hate them like you hate the Chiefs? Did you hate them? Did you have fatigue back then for those teams that you have for the Chiefs now?
Oh, yes.
Yes, but not
the Packers.
Here's the thing.
You're a Packers fan.
I hated the Steelers, Jeffrey. I hated them.
Here's the only reason I will say Mad Dog is wrong. It's very simple. When you are talking about we could potentially witness something we have never seen before, I think we have to say, yeah, that could be the greatest ever. I think in this modern era of football where you have league parity, when you have free agency, when it is so difficult to keep those players, those teams intact, now when we're playing, that to me makes this, what they are doing, this run, so much more remarkable. It's not to knock the great teams of the past, but because you, Mad Dog, might have Chiefs fatigue or Eagles fatigue, that don't diminish what the Chiefs are doing.
I don't know. I think the Patriots still have more mystique to me than the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just telling you, and I know you went up against them, so you're a little bitter with that subject.
No.
But just Belichick and Brady and the amount of rings, and I know it was a longer period of time, but it's still more iconic to me.
Yeah, I think it's more iconic because it was over 20 years,
yes.
Right? Like they've been Mahomes has been to the AFC Championship game every year he started. This is insane how good they are. And to make this about one player, I think is an injustice to this football team. Chris Jones is a major reason why, and their defense is a major reason why they won last year's Super Bowl. Yep. And the year before. When Kansas City's offense was ripping and roaring, they won that way. But the last couple, their defense has made massive plays and stops to get these wins. To say that when you talk about those teams, Dog, and I appreciate you, The reason that you name all those Hall of Famers is because they could stay together. There was no free agency. So all of those teams stay together for 10 and 12 years. Webster played for, all the guys that you're naming, Blunt, they played forever together. And so with the Green Bay Packers, because you couldn't go in. You had fewer teams, you had fewer games, you had all of those things all leading into. You have 17 games. They've won 9 playoff games in a row, which is insane. They went on the road to win them last year. They got them at home. I think what they're doing, this would be the greatest dynasty of what I have seen in the NFL, because to win 3 this way is absolutely remarkable. All the things they've overcome, I just...
To piggyback off of what you're saying, I remember Madonna had the reinvention tour. That's how old I am. That's almost like the Chiefs. Like each year, the roster has been different. What you're asking them to look like. The defense that may have been a liability at times during a season is now a strength. Every single year with free agency, with the Lamar Jacksons and the Josh Allens and the Joe Burrows and Jalen, all these other teams that continue to get better, and we still see the Chiefs right there playing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And remember, every week...
Here's what I would say.
Go ahead.
Here's what I would say, Jeff. They have won 18 games in a row by 1 possession.
Oh, my God.
The only reason that's the case is because of this quarterback. That's how good he is.
Okay.
This quarterback is the reason that wins these games. I know the defense is good. I love Spagnuolo, too. This quarterback is incredible. Let's be honest.
I agree with the quarterback part, but you're diminishing the role of when Veach had to go reinvent their offensive line because they got torched by Tampa. You're diminishing what Kelsey has been able to do and to help Mahomes be even the Tyreek Hill era, right? Like all of that, and then now you're going back. You got Hopkins, you got Worthy, Hollywood Brown. Like you've reinvented. You and I both. You got about a 33% attrition rate in the NFL nowadays, right? That's a big deal to reinvent what they're capable of doing, and they only really lost a game. They get shots. Everybody gives the Chiefs their best shot, man. Yes. And they take them and they find ways to win. I think you're barking up the wrong tree there, doggy.
If I could just recap. So Mad Dog says no, not greatest dynasty ever, because he's bored of this.
Yes.
And also because they win games, but not by enough points. Got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mad Dog, do you think they're more impressive than the New England Patriots? Specifically?
You know what? Remember, the Patriots had a 10-year period there where they didn't win a Super Bowl. So there was a long gap between they won the early ones, and then they didn't win for a long time. Then they won a lot of them. And let's not forget the fact. Now, was it the case this weekend? This weekend's a little different. Jeff, I don't care, Kimberly. They get every call known to man.
Oh,
everybody
my gosh.
Knows. They get every call.
Guys, you can't act like that hasn't been a narrative all season.
Oh,
narrative.
That's a hater narrative. I played against the Patriots. Everybody used to say the same thing about Patriots. They get all the calls. Guess what? They're really good. They put themselves in the position to usually get the call. You got to go beat them. They're not going to give anything away. I ain't buying the whole referee thing. I'm so over the referee thing.
Did you know, Jeff? In the 9-game winning streak in the playoffs that they've had the last 2 years,